Hello, I'm Malcolm Jae O'Shea, and this is MJORiding. I'm an actor and a comedian living in Los Angeles, making my dreams come true. And just last year, I got a motorcycle and learned how to ride it. And this channel is my journal as I ride my motorcycle all around Los Angeles, living my actor dreams. From film location, to auditions, to COVID tests, to tourist locations. You name it, I have video footage of me riding my bike there. On this channel, you get to see it all. So please, hit that like and subscribe button, sit back, and enjoy the ride.
Okay, so we'll start today's episode as soon as I figure out how the heck to get out of here. Oh, wait, there's somebody over here. Let me see. Hey, you. Yeah, you. Come on. Let me out. Oh, thank you. Much appreciated. Alright. Well, thanks to that, we can get started in our episode. Please stay tuned all the way to the end of the episode because today I have a special announcement for those of you who are fans of my acting journey. First off, I'd like to kick off our episode by giving a special shout out to the band whose music is being played in the background during this episode, and hopefully for the episodes going forward. The band you're listening to is Pronghorn. You can find them on Spotify as Pronghorn Los Angeles. I got in touch with this band by working with one of them. Their guitarist is a friend of mine from the background world. I worked with him first on the set of Babylon. His name is Nima Azizi, and I'll throw his Instagram information up on the screen too, so you guys can give him a follow. So please check them out. It's perfect music for riding your motorbike too, so that's why I picked it for the channel. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. In today's episode, we're going to see a video of me coming back from my day working on the set of Gemini Lounge. It's going to be mostly on the 5 in Los Angeles, just a quick about 15-minute bike ride there, and I'm heading back towards my apartment. And during the ride, you will be hearing the story of my second background job where I worked with Rob Riggle for an award show event. Also, I have on this episode the story of my first commercial gig I worked in Los Angeles. And please stay all the way to the end of the episode and you'll actually get to see that commercial. Yes, just a little treat for you, just like in all my other videos. So I hope you've been watching all the videos to the end because I do like to hide a little secret clip of my acting work at the end of each video. Also, I want to remind you to please put those comments in the comment section for me. Let me know what you think of the channel. Let me know what you want to see. Let me know what you don't like about it. If you want to hear the music more and me less, tell me. I can take it. If you want to hear different stories, if you want to hear stories about something other than acting, let me know. Just please put the comments in the comment section and tell me what you want to see, where you want me to take the motorcycle, all of it. Just let me know. It's as easy as putting a comment in and telling me what you want to see. I started this channel for myself, my family, and for you. And so I want to make this channel the most enjoyable for all of us. And for me, I'm going to enjoy it more knowing that I'm putting something out there that you want to watch. And now for our story. That first week after registering for Central Casting was a very good and busy week for me. The same day I got my details for Superstore, I heard back from a posting that I had submitted to on Backstage.com for a commercial for a drone. And that I ended up booking and was scheduled to film that on the following Monday. On that same week, got a booking for the Saturday to work on a sketch to be screened during the Hollywood Film Awards. It was a sketch show. It was taped on a Saturday, like I said. It was taped at the CBS studios in downtown Los Angeles. We were working with Rob Riggle as the main principal actor who we were working with, and it was just little sketches that, unfortunately, there's no footage available for me to even view because they were screened during the actual award show for the attendees of the award show during commercial breaks, so they had something to watch and entertain them. It was a really interesting gig. because it showed me a lot of behind the scenes stuff that I hadn't seen obviously before, and some of it not even since. So like I said, it was at the CBS building in downtown Los Angeles, which has a bunch of the soap operas are filmed there. Price is Right is filmed there. The Walking Dead was filmed there. A bunch of other shows too. James Corden's Late Late Show was filmed there. So when we got there, the place that they actually set up for us for holding was the green room for The Walking Dead, which was kind of cool. So they had a bunch of posters and stuff up on the walls for their show, and it had a big old TV in the room that had pretty substantial channel listing, including, it was really interesting and weird, it had these different channels that were just cameras out in Los Angeles. I'm guessing it's for the CBS newsroom that they use for their traffic cams or something like that. But we could literally flip the channels and see just these random cameras that were just on like different places of Los Angeles that was on the television in there. And the room was really cool. It had really nice plush leather couches and a lot of other cool stuff in there. For this particular gig, it was, absolutely just non-union whatsoever because it's just an award show thing. So there was very minimal crafty or snacks. And for lunch on this particular show, they had us do what is called a walk-away lunch. So they gave us 30 minutes. They're like, hey, you're in Los Angeles. There's plenty of food options nearby. Go to your car, go get some lunch, and come back. You have 30 minutes. Which isn't actually that bunch of time when you consider parking and everything else that you have to deal with in Los Angeles. That was a little bit disappointing for me after working on Superstore the day before when they had the great big buffets. And it just goes to show, though, that no two sets are the same. No two experiences on set are going to be the same. But we got to work pretty quickly on this one. And the first thing we did was a long shot of an alleyway. Rob Riggle's up way by the camera making wisecracks and jokes, and they just had us background players. There was only like 5 of us, and they had us spread out through this alleyway doing different bits behind Rob Riggle while he was talking about us, or talking about the show, or whatever he was talking about. And my little bit for this was there was this giant ice cream cone that was probably about 2 feet taller than me that was on like a dolly, so you could just push it on wheels. And my bit was, as soon as they called background, I was just to take this ice cream cone and just slowly push it across the alleyway to the other side and look like I was a backstage hand moving set decorations around. Yeah, it was a quick little bit. And then after that, there was another little bit that we filmed where Rob Riggle's like driving this golf cart. Either Rob Riggle was driving the golf cart or we were driving the golf cart chasing Rob Riggle. I can't remember which. But at any rate, I got to be in the golf cart with that one, and that was probably the funnest part of the day. So when we're riding in that golf cart, and I just remember we're like chasing around the corner, and I was kind of like hanging on the back. Yeah, they had the cart come to like a stop, and then we got off, and then we chased after Rob Riggle. So yeah, I believe we were chasing him on the golf cart. But it was funny. It was probably the first action I got to do in Los Angeles. So that was really cool. And then we moved inside, and we did another setup where I was a stagehand, kind of like just painting some of the set decorations, again, while Rob Riggle walks in talking about the film industry or whatever he was talking about in the sketches, and I'm just sitting there painting. That was the last little sketch that I think I actually participated in that particular date. And that's another thing too I want to bring up, is a lot of times when you're working background on these things, there's a lot of downtime. There's a lot of time that you're sitting and holding, and actually on this particular day, all those 3 sketches that I participated in up on the top of the day were pretty quick and early and right away, and then they kind of sent us the holding, and then we were holding for about half an hour, and that's when they sent us off the walk-away lunch. And I only had enough time to grab something and then come back and then eat it there. But again, we were sitting and holding this whole time, which wasn't a bad holding. It was the green room for the Walking Dead cast, so it was a nice holding area. And when we went between the holding area and to get out of the building, we were like walking right past the sound stage for The Price is Right and a couple other sound stages. I'll throw some pictures up here of what that looked like. I got to see the actual big wheel that they spin for The Price is Right. That was really cool. After lunch, I just basically sat in the green room for quite a while, and there was another point in time where they decided to use this background again, but they only needed a couple of us, but they brought all of us across the way, and we ended up in the offices for James Corden's show, and it was really cool. I was sitting at the desks for one of the writers or one of the producers or somebody, and just seeing all the different stuff. It was right next to a whiteboard that had all the lists of like their guests and who was going to be on next week, and it was just really cool just to see that kind of environment behind the scenes. It looked very much like any other office would, except for the things that you're seeing on the board aren't talking about like major clients or anything. They're talking about like entertainment industry people and stuff like that. So I thought that was really cool, and I got to chill in there while they filmed basically the last two setups for the day. At that point in time, I believe that's when they wrapped us, and it was a pretty quick, easy day. Like I said, a lot of time in holding. Made my first friend in the background world that day. His name's Dom. Cool guy. If you're listening, Dom, how you doing, man? Hope all's well. Still have him as a contact on Instagram, and he actually helped me out with a couple auditions since then. So that's, the power of networking. I tell you, if you get nothing out of a day on set, earning a friend is absolutely way better than any other thing you can get. Got a friend out of that day. Even if I didn't get to see any of this footage or get to see how this turned out, that's definitely something I'll always take away from this particular gig. I'll also talk about the experience I had filming the commercial that same weekend, or actually it was the Monday after. But the commercial, like I said, I found out so I submitted for this commercial on Backstage.com, then I went grocery shopping or something, and I usually get bookings or something when I go grocery shopping or when I'm showering. Actually, maybe it was I was just getting ready to get in the shower, and I was packing my stuff the night before going to work on Superstore to have my clothes and stuff ready to go, and I just remember I had like one foot out the door, and I get this phone call, and it's this director guy, and he's really excited that I picked up the phone, and he's like, yeah, we're shooting the commercial actually on Monday, are you available? And he kind of told me the details and what they would pay and where it was at. I was like, yeah, heck yeah, sign me up. When that day came, they needed a couple different clothing options, and that's something, again, I don't know how much emphasis I put on this already in some of my earlier videos, but one thing that I don't think a lot of people understand is when you see an actor on screen, the clothes that they have on is usually the clothes that's out of their own closet, their own dresser. For one, it's really a lot easier for a costumer or somebody to fit you in your own clothes because your own clothes fit you. And a lot of times customers don't have an exorbitant budget or closet at the ready that they can fit just any size individual. So especially in the background world, but even principal actors, and especially in commercials and stuff, you're gonna see what people are wearing are their own clothes. So like a lot of the work, I said, I believe for Superstore I was packing my clothes for that. I was working on getting my stuff packed for Superstore when this happened. So a big part of the job is, combing through your wardrobe and picking out clothes and then submitting that to costume department or costumer or something. So I remember that was kind of a big deal, was picking out what clothes to wear for this one, because I was to play a dad. And I'll actually put this commercial at the end of the video so you can see what it looks like. But I was playing a dad at a birthday party who gives a drone to his daughter, and then like in the aftermath, basically it's me interacting with my daughter and this drone that I bought her for her birthday. So when I got to the actual location, there was a bunch of kids there for like the birthday party, and there was the young actor playing my daughter, and then there was an actor playing my wife. Initially, I was introduced to those two actors, make sure that we're all comfortable and cool, and I remember the little girl was really sweet and polite and very shy, and then the woman playing my wife was actress from Russia, who at the time and still currently lives in New York, but just happened to be in Los Angeles for another gig for like a week or two, was just wanting to make the most of it, so she was posting the gigs online on Backstage, and she ended up booking it the same way. So it was happenstance. And a cool little fact about her is she worked with Keanu Reeves on a movie that was shot in Russia. I believe it's called Siberia or something like that. She was the one who kind of helped him out with speaking Russian and talking Russian and stuff like that. So I thought that was really cool. She shared her experience with Keanu Reeves and talked about, we all know this by now, he's just a very sweet man and genuine character, and she definitely had nothing but nice things to say about him, and it was really cool cool just to work with somebody who's worked with, you know, superstars like that. And that was probably one of my first experiences working that closely with another actor who's worked as closely with, you know, a superstar. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then we shot the opening sequence with the birthday party and the revealing of the drone itself. And I remember the kids themselves that were there and cast for this were all super excited. And then when the drone came out, they're like, their level of anticipation like went up 1000%. They were so pumped to see this thing, and like they all wanted to play with it and see everything. I think we did like a couple shots with the drone with the kids in the room, and it was somebody else piloting it, one of the crew members who was tied to the commercial, which was only like 4 crew total, I believe, working on this, and that included, there was the same person doing makeup and wardrobe, and then we had like the writer, director, and a camera guy who was also operating the drone. It was just a very skeleton crew on this. A very small commercial that was being paid for directly by the client itself, this Emax drone manufacturer. Once we were done shooting the birthday party sequence, they kind of chased all the kids away except for the one playing my daughter, paid them all, and paid all those kids and sent them home. And then at that point, there was a couple more sequences with the wife/mom and the daughter and my character, the father. So we shot those. There's one on the couch where we're sitting there playing with the drones. The daughter's teaching us how to work the drones, and just a couple other things there. And then we finished up our work with the mom character, and they sent her on her way. And then I had another sequence where I shot with the daughter where I was inside the office, or the dad's personal office, you know, pretending to work. And then she comes in the room and tries to get me to play with her by hitting me with the drone, which was kind of cute and funny. And then the final sequence, we actually had to move locations, and we went to the warehouse where they make the drones themselves, and I got to see what that looks like, which was really cool to see the back end of a small tech company. Got to see where they build their drones and where they store their drones and where they develop their drones. They have a little test course and everything. We shot in there, me and the actor playing my daughter playing with drones, chasing them around inside the warehouse, and that was a really cool sequence too. And then at that point in time, it was the end of the day, and they actually kind of took me beyond the original agreed amount of time to work because they're just trying to squeeze everything in. But again, this was definitely a non-union kind of gig, so they only paid me one solid base rate. They ended up taking me out to Wendy's. Me, the director, and one of the other guys went out to Wendy's to eat afterwards because they didn't have anything to feed me at that point. They had a small crafty at the beginning of the day that was actually quite generous for crafties, but yeah, they didn't do lunch or anything. They ended up having me there for 10 hours, so they felt a little guilty, and they ended up feeding me some Wendy's, where it was basically, again, I'm a vegetarian, and so I ended up just eating french fries. But it was okay. It was fun. We talked, had a good conversation, got a nice little commercial for my reel out of it, and some good stories to tell. Working with yet another new friend who is also one of my Instagram contacts still after that gig. So it was a lot of fun, and just one of those gigs that you get off of backstage. It's one day of work, and then it's over with. That's gonna be it for our stories today. I hope you enjoy seeing me in this drone commercial. Thank you for watching. Oh, before I forget, I did promise special announcement. So that special announcement is during this past week, the week that I recorded the audio for this episode, I've been auditioning as usual, and one of my auditions finally landed. I booked myself yet another pilot. So look forward to more news on that as more details come in, and I can share that with you. And don't worry, I'll film as much of that journey as I can. Thanks for watching.